why the DJI M30T just got a whole lot better. Stick around. Hey everybody, David here from Aerial Influence. Today we are talking about the amazing, the incredible, the best drone on the market, the DJI M30T. It really is a powerhouse of a drone. Excuse me while I look into the sun. But today I wanted to get this drone up and do a little bit of live flying with you guys, go through some of the features and just kind of show you why it is the best drone on the market. Two other key notes. One, it got a firmware update, and two, the price just dropped by like $4,000. So now this drone with a couple of batteries is under $10,000, used to be 14 grand. So a really great drone, but what I wanna do is I wanna get the drone up in the air and just show you some of the features. Here we go. All right, so what you're seeing right now is the FPV. Oop, there it is. All right, so what you're seeing right now is the FPV camera. So this camera is not on a gimbal whatsoever. It is just a static camera that you use. This is really, so if your gimbal were to go out, if that camera were to go out for some reason, you would still have this FPV camera to keep you flying and get you home. So that's a really, really good thing. It also can be used. It kind of freaks you out a little bit when you turn because it is static. It's not steady like the gimbal camera is. But anyway, it can also be used, so say you're using two remotes for your drone. One of the pilots would use the FPV drone to fly, and the other pilot would use the regular camera to just, the gimbal. He would use the gimbal to just run the camera, basically. So he wouldn't have to worry about flying at all. The other pilot would be doing that himself, and the other person would then just be running the camera. So cool things that you can do with this drone, but I just wanted to show you that FPV view. Again, it's a little freaky when you turn and stuff because you think your drone is falling out of the sky, but it isn't. So let me switch you over now to the regular camera here. So right now we're in the wide angle camera. So this is the camera that they're gonna use for mapping. You're gonna get 48 megapixel pictures out of that wide angle camera. So you're gonna get some great maps out of it. And it's also great for situational awareness. So for instance, you could be zoomed all the way in on your zoom camera, or you could be in your thermal camera and you could be zoomed in. You hit that wide angle camera and you're gonna be popped right back out as wide as they can be to give you an idea of where exactly you are in space. So the wide angle camera is a nice feature. Let's switch us over to the zoom camera real quick and I'll show you some of those features. So I feel like golfers are always fair game if we can find them. Maybe there's some over there. There we go. So I'm going to zoom out real quick. That's how far we're zoomed out right now. That's our widest angle. And now I'm going to zoom in and see if we can see these guys. Let's see what he does here. Oh, didn't see if it went in or not. But you get the idea. Oh, it did. It was a nice putt. I suck at golf, so I thought that was a really nice putt. That's as far as it goes in all the way. Obviously, the farther you zoom in, the harder the camera is to control because you are so zoomed in. So let's zoom it out real quick. So again, you can see just how powerful that zoom is. Let's see. Let me try to find something else that I can zoom into that'll be interesting for you. Here we've got a water tower. St. Charles, people. We are looking at St. Charles. So right now I'm in Elburn, Illinois. So we're near St. Charles, obviously. We are near Geneva, Illinois, Aurora, Illinois. So that's the location we're in. But this is a very long way away this water tower is. So pretty impressive stuff. You are never going to have to fly too closely to anything. So, you know, there's no excuse for hitting a building. There's no excuse for hitting a tree. There's no excuse for hitting anything because this zoom is so powerful, you should never have to get close to anything. So that's what we got right now on the zoom. Let us, and I'm trying really hard not to focus on anybody's house for too long. I want to show you real quick the laser rangefinder. So I'm going to show you this on my screen. All right, so right now that's the house, that's my house right there. So right now you can see in the middle of the screen is giving us a range. It is telling us that that house is 760 feet away from the drone right now. So that's interesting information to have. Here on the left above the map, it's telling you the above sea level location, so 781 feet, and it's also giving you GPS coordinates of that house. So a lot of information can be gleaned from that laser rangefinder and then can be given to like public safety officials that are going to be able to use that information to save a life or something like that. So laser rangefinder, not everybody thinks they need it, but it does come in as a handy tool. Since we are in the zoom range right now, let me turn off the laser rangefinder. I'm going to go a little bit higher up, only because I want to show you guys something that is both really cool and really freaky. All right, so I'm at max altitude. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, this car is going to come by and I'm going to go boop. Okay, so you can see it's following this car who is probably speeding right now. I'm not doing anything. The drone itself is tracking this. It's not using its zoom range. It's not using itself to fly around. It's not flying anywhere. It is staying totally static and just using its zoom range. You saw there, the car went behind a tree and still the drone was able to get its location again. So, like I said, this is a great feature. Oh, let's see, will it get them? Oh, it did, and yes, it did again. All right, so thing is pretty good at keeping track of things. It can also track human beings. There, it lost it just a little bit, but it will track it for miles and miles if there are no trees or obstacles in the way. So if you get high enough, you know, if I were above those trees, closer on the road, it would follow it for miles and miles. So that really is kind of one of those freaky tools that they got for this drone. That's weird. All right, what else do we got here? Oh, of course, we got to run our thermal camera. Now, it's a pretty cool day today. You know, neither of our cars have been started yet, but let's see what our thermal camera is going to show us right now. Okay, so as you can see, that's the same, you know, point of view that you had from the other camera. You can see the two cars right there. You can actually zoom over here on the right-hand side by the record button. You can zoom in with the thermal, so that's kind of nice as well. It's all digital, so the further you zoom in, the crappier it's gonna look, but it'll go up to 20 times. So that's the thermal, and you can actually change the palettes. Up here you see a kind of a little line that has a rainbow on it. You can click on that, and then you can go in and change to different palettes. So say you want everything on the screen to be hot, everything on the screen to turn white if it's hot. So the hotter things are, the more white they're gonna be. So we'll look at that. There you can see that. Now the cars are obviously white because they're hotter. The rooftops of the buildings are white because they're hotter. You can actually touch the middle of your screen or touch anywhere on the screen. It's gonna tell you the temperature of that surface as well. And it's within, you know, 4 to 5 degrees. So right now it's saying 119.7 degrees Fahrenheit, but it could be anywhere from, you know, 115 to 123 or something like that. But still pretty cool. And you can see for like inspection work, this could be really handy. The thermal itself could be really handy. You're going to be able to see where heat is escaping from a building. So something else that is really handy as well. Another feature that this actually has, oh, and I should mention real quick, this is 640 by 512 high resolution thermal. Really looks nice. Right now I'm zoomed in, so it's not going to look as nice. But you will be able to see and get accurate heat signatures from 400 feet up. That's where we're at right now. We are at 400 feet. And like I said, down there below, you can actually see the cars and just how hot they are. And it's getting a temperature on them. Now what I'll do, just real quick, let me stand up and see if I can see myself. I go over to this corner. Let's try a different palette. Oh, there I am. So it's really hard to see right now. I'm zoomed in 10 times. My arrow's pointing right on me. I'm walking, it's hard because there's a lot of sunlight today. So like the pavement and my body are gonna be similar temperatures. So in this case, it is hard to see. And I'm up at 400 feet as well. So let's get a little bit closer. See if I can give you a little bit better of an example. Why is my thermal out? So when I say I'm going to get a little closer, I want to get really close because I just want to show you guys kind of what it looks like here. I should also mention the drone has like a 42-minute flight time. 42 minutes of flight time, you know, more realistic, you're going to get 35 minutes out of it probably. I started with kind of a battery that was like 3/4 full, so that's why we're not going to get the full flight time out of it today. But here, let me switch over to thermal real quick. Why does that look like complete dog shit? Oh, it's zoomed in 20 times. That's why. All right. So you guys can see me there. Let me switch it over to black hot. So everything is just kind of hot right now because the sun is beating down. It's about 80 degrees here in Illinois. So the sun's beating down, so everything is warm. But you can see, you can get my heat signature from this. Even if we were in the dark right now, even if it was not sunny outside right now, you would still be able to see my image and my heat signature. So that is an amazing tool for search and rescue folks. You can also do something called side-by-side where you flip that. You've got it side by side. Link zoom enabled. So if I zoom, so these will actually zoom together. They're not exactly the same frame there. You can see the thermal is a little bit wider, but you know, still, it's nice to be able to zoom in and have the thermal zoom in with you if you have to. All right, take the side-by-side off. I'll show you a couple more palettes too. So this actually for today is a great one. For a day like today, this is probably a better palette to use. It's called Hot Iron. You could also use Iron Red. So yeah, like you see, you know, depending on what palette you use, you're going to be able to see it easier. Most of our search and rescue folks are using white hot or black hot. But if something else, one of the other ones works better for you, then that's absolutely what you should use because it's going to let you see things that you wouldn't otherwise see. So let's see here. You can see in the middle there on the bottom of the screen, it's showing that it's got things around it. So you see how there are, in the compass area, there are like little yellow marks. Well, the closer something gets to it, so the closer something gets to it, the more of those, it's gonna turn red, and it's actually gonna stop you from flying. So it won't let you go forward until you basically don't have anything in front of you. So that's just one of the safety features. And you can actually adjust the brake distance. So right now it looks like it's set at probably, I don't know, 15 feet. But you could make it closer so that the drone could fly a little bit closer to you before it stops, or you could set it for further as well. But that is how that works. The drone also has obstacle avoidance all the way around it, so 360 degrees. So you're not going to have to worry so much about the actual drone itself running into anything. Now, if you turn off the sensors, something silly like that, if you turn it into sport mode, which does turn off the sensors, you're gonna have some trouble more than likely. So make sure that you are not flying without those sensors. Make sure you're not flying close to anything anyway. Like I said, these cameras are so much better now and are able to actually zoom in. You're able to use your thermal. You're able to do a lot of different things without ever having to get close to a building. So just pay attention to that as well, and be mindful that these drones, while they're very, very capable, they can also fly away on you if you're not doing the right thing. So, all right, what else do we have here? So, you can do things like change your shutter speed. This drone is also IP55 rated, so it's gonna take some rain, it's gonna take some snow. It does a really nice job. It can go down to negative 14 degrees, I believe, up to 114 degrees. I believe that's, no, 122 degrees Fahrenheit down to negative 14 degrees. So really, really can handle a lot of weather and a lot of different situations. So yes, another great thing of it. This drone does a lot of different things, a lot of different features. Some of them are really advanced. You can do mapping, you can do waypoints. So a lot of different things you can do with this drone. I'm not gonna show you all of them. I've already spent 20 minutes with you here, and you've probably tuned out. It's been over a year since this drone actually came out. So we just wanted to kind of give you an update on it, let you see some of the features, and let you know about that price drop. So it's down by $4,000. It's under $10,000 now with 2 batteries. So if you're interested, make sure you reach out to us, give us a call. We'll see you next time.